Hi guys, Mike with Fights with Friends again, and in that salary video I talked to you guys about why I think the pay-per-view industry may be about to change to the UFC and maybe become very, very rare. Now, under the ESPN rule, the pricing for this, what it does is it estimates every UFC event at $10 million, worth $10 million profit. That's what they're going to get from Disney ABC. So UFC 225, very solid card if you're a fight fan, right? And CM Punk was supposedly brought in because obviously everybody knows he doesn't know how to fight, but for the popularity. Dana White said he was putting Andrei Arlovsky on the prelims because he doesn't sell as many pay-per-views as CM Punk. Well, Yoel Romero versus Robert Whitaker, Tai Tuivasa versus Andrei Arlovsky, Holly Holm versus Megan Anderson, all these great fights that were on here managed to bomb and sell less than 150,000 pay-per-view buys. I think there's a lot of reasons for this. I think one of the big reasons is the increase in the price now, the $65 for a pay-per-view in HD. I think fans are really having a hard time getting their hands around that and grasping that. But at $65 a pop, and this is considering HD, not every fan's going to get this in HD. They're going to be $55 for the standard definition. So they sold less than 150,000. At 150,000, that would be 9.75 million. Now share a large percentage of that, half of that, everything that went to a cable or satellite with these guys. Some of these sold on the UFC Fight Pass. Some of them they're going to buy digitally. The majority of them, though, are going to be bought through the cable and satellite companies. So the UFC's probably ended up with somewhere around $5 million for TV rights on this. Half of what they're going to get per event for ESPN. So this basically makes any pay-per-view in the future that sells less than 300,000 buys obsolete. So I think this is really good news for the fans. How is ESPN Plus going to turn a profit at $5 a month? I don't know yet. That's not my problem. The UFC is getting $1.5 billion to put on a lot of great fights the next 5 years, and I say we all enjoy them. 30 free fights a year between ESPN and ESPN Plus. So just ESPN Plus, $5 a month, you're going to get 15 fights a year. I know I've been selling this like I'm getting some kind of cut. I'm not, but it's exciting to me. But I think it's going to get to the point, unless they just put complete garbage cards on these, it's a pay-per-view killer. And this ESPN Plus is also going to kind of be a Fight Pass killer from what I see. It says there's going to be DVR content. I'm not sure how much DVR content that's going to include, but it said DVR content. So I think a lot of people are going to be choosing between Fight Pass and ESPN Plus, which is half the price. So now, by the way, though, just to toss it in there, it's a good time to get UFC Fight Pass for 10 weeks. This Dana White Contender Series. First week was absolutely insane. They're running a 10-week special for $14.99. So if you've already taken your free 30 days or free 7-day trial, great deal. Get it for the whole summer for $15. Then you can follow me along as I watch all the Contender Series throughout the year. That's getting a little off track. I think this is good news for us, though, to get off this pay-per-view track. It's unsustainable, I believe, to have 12, 15 pay-per-views a year. People, and to continue to think you're going to have more and more pay-per-views is just ridiculous. Look what the WWE is doing. Look at how many memberships they're selling. I mean, Fight Pass has sold less than 500,000 memberships worldwide at $10 a month. That's horrific. WWE Network, I want to say, was like over 2 million, but they have all the pay-per-views on there. UFC is going to have a multifaceted platform now to put on a lot of fights, and I think almost get rid of the pay-per-view model. I think you cut it down to 5 or less pay-per-views a year. And like I said, it's almost stupid for them not to. Because if they're getting $10 million for an event from ABC and ESPN, why put together a card like UFC 225 that makes 5 or 6 million? It doesn't make sense. The TV deal makes sense for everyone if you're getting 10 million. You're going to have a lot more viewers. You're going to gain popularity. You're going to grow star power. You're going to sell more merchandise because people have more money in their pockets. They didn't just drop $65 on a pay-per-view. And everybody has more money. The fighters, everyone. It's a win-win-win. I've been ready to kick this pay-per-view model for a long time, but especially since they increased it to $65 a piece. I'll tell you an amazing stat here. Less than 150,000 people paid for this pay-per-view. So you would say there's a lack of interest in this pay-per-view. Most likely correct. Most of you probably know, though, if you pay attention to MMA holes, which I know a lot of you do, he had 99,000 views for his Fight Companion. Almost as many views as the UFC had for pay-per-view buys. So how many pirated viewings were there of this? What was the, viewing for that? For the torrents afterwards? For Fight Companions like this one, I was in the thousands. A lot of these guys were in the thousands. And UFC, pretty abysmal for the guys that are running the show. So, in the long run, I think it's good news. Don't forget, tomorrow, 7 p.m., my guest, Mike Jackson. We're going to have a lot of questions for him. Of course, he was CM Punk's opponent at UFC 225. Dana White threw him under the bus, as I talked about earlier. I will see you guys for that tomorrow. As always, I love you, I respect you, and I'll see your fine asses later.